Martin Popoff here from the Contrarians. Welcome back to another episode of Reliving Old Reviews is a Useless Tool of Confusion. I wanted to do this show because I like looking at these old reviews of albums or bands that in context later on became massive or very worthy of talking about, and what you could possibly say about them, what you could compare them to back in the day. And I think this one kind of fits the bill. I haven't seen this review. I'm going in cold here. And we're going to figure out whether this writer could figure out what was kind of important or interesting about this band back then. So it kind of fits. It's a little later, without further ado, it's Nazareth Razamanaz. So we're talking 1973. This is from Melody Maker, May 19th, 1973. The review is by CC, which is it Chris Charlesworth? Could be Chris Charlesworth, a legend of our business, of course. Let's see what they have to say if they notice how uncommonly interesting. I don't want to give it too much away, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is like, are they going to notice how, interestingly heavy and quite extreme Nazareth is, especially with Dan McCafferty back then. At this point, especially with his vocals and that, right? So, pretty heavy album for the day, but let's see what they have to say. So, Nazareth Razamanaz. Nazareth are among the hardest workers in rock, gigging 7 nights out of 7 and deservedly picking up a growing following. Absolutely. They have been super busy. This is only their 3rd album, but they are known right to the end of their lives, literally. Sadly, we've only got one of the original classic lineup left. That's Pete Agnew, right? By the way, you can get my Nazareth visual biography. I think that's what we're calling it now. But I still actually have 3 of the hardcovers still available at martinpopoff.com. And now I have the updated soft cover available as well. And that's a timeline with quotes type book. So it's a full timeline of their history. It's all full color throughout, tons and tons of pictures and a lot of quotes from the band as well. What does he say here? The time will come when they are promoted to Division 1 and forced to restrict their activities to major tours. But until that happens, we can all enjoy a good rocking outfit as often as possible. So the first album did not make very many waves. Exercises made even less waves. It was an experimental album where they went kind of soft and folky. Here they're coming on like a freight train. This is a pretty darn heavy album, like I say, for 1973. So he's getting it right. They're gonna become famous making this heavy music, right? This is their 3rd album, and probability points to it being their most successful to date, especially in view of the massive tour the group are currently undertaking. It opens with a blasting rocker, which is the title track and could possibly become the group's anthem, and this sets the general tone of the set. There's Leon Russell's Alcatraz to follow, and Woody Guthrie's Vigilante Man, which features guitarist Manny Charlton at his best on slide guitar. Yeah, Nazareth become a band that just loves doing covers. They do lots and lots of covers, but here they really make them their own. I remember getting this album as a new release in 1973. It's one of the very first albums I got as a new release, if not the first album. And I don't even remember even having it register in my 10-year-old brain that these were covers, because they absolutely fit the bill, especially Alcatraz just sounds like a heavy Nazareth song. And as he correctly noticed here, Razamanaz does become an incredible anthem for the band, right? Last time I saw the band, it was Manny's slide work, which stood out for me, and here it's given full rein. The first side closes with another belter. Woke up this morning with more slide creeping in. That's not unlike Ronnie Wood's work with the Faces. There are 5 originals on the second side, including their single. I didn't know that. So one side is all originals. The other side's the pockmarked with covers. I didn't know that. There are 5 originals on the second side, including their single Broken Down Angel. And it's here that repetition could set in for all but the fanatic Nazareth fans. There's 2 more rockers for openers, both riffy, and a bluesy song called Sold My Soul, with a most unusual. That's a creepy song, man. That's almost like the forebearer of Ballad of Hollis Brown, which they didn't write, but man, that's one of the early doom songs of all time, right? Or almost like drone doom, right? with a most unusual solo break in the middle, which left me wondering just what instrument it was played on. There's no keyboard mention in the credits, so it must be a very strange guitar effect from Charlton. A couple more rockers complete the selection, leaving a second side, which, although a trifle samey, gives an extraordinarily long playing time. A heavy rock band. I didn't realize that it was that long a playtime. I'll have to check that. A heavy rock band these days has a hard job elevating themselves above the mediocre with the glut of bands around. There's no glut of super heavy bands around. I don't know what he's talking about there, and then Nazareth, because there's no glut, I think Nazareth does well. Nazareth are managing it the hard way, like the Uriah Heeps and Black Sabbaths before them. Give them 12 months and ... So yeah, absolutely prophetic there, because Loud and Proud is a big hit, and then Hair of the Dog's an even bigger hit, right? It's the only album to go gold for them in the States. Dan McCafferty used to joke. He used to say, "Oh, it's the only album we have a gold 8-track for," right? So yeah, they're going to be big, I think, because of this hard rock direction. But then, as we know, they were very annoying in that they didn't stick with it, kind of thing. They went back and went all over the place, and a good song's a good song, and all that. So all their albums are just very universal and general after that kind of thing. But they have this hard rock period that everybody loves the most. And Pete's going to have to admit that these are the songs everybody loves the most, of course, and they've been playing them. It makes up the brunt of their sets, right? Kind of thing. So, yeah, amazing album, really cool. Great logo for Nazareth. Razamanaz gets a logo. Great live shots inside. I remember getting this as a kid and thinking, man, these guys are badass, right? And obviously with Dan's voice, they were totally, pretty extreme for the time because of that voice. So there you go. CC, maybe Chris Charlesworth. Writing a review of Nazareth, Razamanaz on Reliving Old Reviews. Please subscribe to us as well. We want to hit that next level. And join our Patreon for very little per month on that thing. You can be part of our panels. And yeah, the panels we've made all sorts of great new friends from the panel. Many of them have gone on to do their own shows as well. Very cool. So yeah, that's it. Go listen to some Nazareth.